do I know if HRT is going to work for me? I'm going to tell you the honest truth here. You don't know. Okay. So that's the thing. You don't know. The doctor doesn't know. You're the general practitioner you go to see, or ideally the menopause expert you go to see, medical menopause expert you go to see, doesn't really know. However, what we do know is that for many women, hormone replacement therapy, which is what it's called, is really does help and can help with some symptoms. So that's the thing we need to start off with is, you don't have to take HRT. It is not compulsory for you to take HRT at all. So I've heard some women saying to me, well, I need to take HRT, otherwise I'm going to become ill, or I'm going to get Alzheimer's, or I'm going to get some. No, that doesn't necessarily work. So the way to start is to go and see a menopause specialist, and if there isn't one in your general practice, then you need to ask where there is one in your borough, in your wider community. So try and find somebody who is a menopause expert. Okay. And again, if you need any help, you can always DM message me, and I would be happy to see whether I can help you to find somebody who'd be able to support you with this. Once you've done that, you need to sit down with them and talk through your history, talk through your concerns, talk through your symptoms. So keeping your symptom checker and going in with those questions that we've again discussed in one of my podcasts earlier is really, really important. That doesn't change, okay? Once you go in to see your doctor or your specialist with these symptoms, and you can help them to join the dots together, they're going to be able to give you the advice they need about HRT. So this is where it's really important to understand that your GP, your GP who's known you perhaps for a while, or that you may not know your GP, they may not be the best person for this job. And that's not because there's anything wrong with them or they're not educated. It's because they may not have had that continued professional development. They may not have had an interest in it and therefore have not learnt as much about it as perhaps one of their colleagues. So the first thing to do is ask for a menopause expert within your GP practice, okay, or outside of that, and speak to someone who really knows their stuff about HRT. And again, if you go onto my podcast, you will see that there are some specialists that I've spoken to about HRT. So that's a good place to start as well. Once you've had a conversation with them and you talk about your symptoms, they'll be able to guide you as to what type of hormone replacement therapy you will need. So there's 3 hormones involved here. There's estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. So depending on what your symptoms are and how you're feeling and how you present will depend on what combination of those will be advised to you and how you will be taking them as well. So there's pumps and tablets, there's gels, there's all sorts of different ways of taking them these days. It's really important to have that in-depth conversation and look at your options as well. Will it help? So I see a lot of women in my programs. I support a lot of women who are on HRT, and it's definitely making a difference to some of their symptoms, but not to all. So that's also something to consider. The other thing to remember about HRT is your doctor and you don't know exactly what's going on inside your body. You don't know the exact shift of hormones and when and how they're happening. So your HRT to get it right may take a bit of time. So you still need to be observing, you still need to be writing down your symptoms, you still need to be noting how you're feeling once you start taking HRT, allowing it enough time to work, and then also going back for your review. So that's really, really, really important. Another thing that's going to help HRT to help HRT to reduce the symptoms, but also reduce symptoms anyway, is your health and lifestyle. So HRT on its own is not a magic pill that you take and it actually makes everything absolutely fine. You've got to think about your lifestyle choices, reducing your stress, so doing yoga or meditation, going for walks and spending time outside, making sure you're getting your sleep, exercising, moving and doing resistance training, and above all as well, eating plenty of vegetables, plenty of plants, and making sure you're getting your protein, fiber, and your fat, because fat is very important as well. It's an essential nutrient. So making sure you're getting all of that together and making sure you're within a really healthy body fat percentage as well All those things are vital for making sure that HRT is doing as well as it can do for you. So it's not a magic pill or a magic spray or a magic gel, but it definitely helps a lot of women as well.